Hey guys, this video is going to be a little different than my usual ones. For my longtime viewers, you know when you see me playing Team Rumble, it means I'm about to go off on a rant. I had a really good video planned about useful creative courses, but then, of course, Epic went and quite literally ruined Fortnite. I'm not gonna lie boys, I feel sick to my stomach right now. The game I've loved and supported for over a year now is being run into the ground by a bunch of morons who don't even play it. Every week, it feels like they remove a feature we all love to make the skill gap smaller. This most recent change though, is on a completely different level. I have a feeling it will get reverted, and because Epic loves screwing up my videos, it'll probably get nerfed before this even drops. Still, they've lost so much trust from the community, and I'm not sure they can ever get it back. I'm really sad to say that today will be remembered as the day Epic killed Fortnite. So what is the change I'm talking about? In patch 10.20 that was released today at the time I'm making this video, Epic increased the time between subsequent turbo build placements from 0.05 seconds to 0.15 seconds. This means every build you turbo build after the first one you placed, which the first one still takes 0.05 seconds, the next one and every other one after that will take 0.15 seconds to place. A 0.1 second change may not sound significant, but it's actually a huge nerf. With this in the game, most weapons can spray through your builds with ease, making it extremely hard to turtle up and not get W keyed. If you thought defending yourself against brutes was hard enough before they got nerfed, well, now they're just as overpowered. On top of that, since the first build placement is 0.05, it will be extremely easy to take and replace walls against people turtling. In this clip I'm going to show, Rhodey is resetting his first build placement instead of turbo building, and we see he always gets the wall. I guess this is the new way to hold your walls until it gets changed. The last and biggest thing that got affected was building. Any advanced technique you knew is pretty much impossible to do with turbo building now. Your builds will place so slowly that they'll come out late, or they just won't place at all. The best way to describe it is that it feels like you're constantly on 200 ping. Trying to do 90s? Nope. Tunneling? Not even. Well, how about ramp rushes? Not a chance. Building and gameplay in general feels slow, clunky, and really just terrible overall. We're back to the season 2 and 3 days of clicking to place builds. With the 0.15 second delay, it's actually faster to spam click and build than it is to turbo build. So why on earth would Epic do this? Epic made this change simply because they don't like the box fighting meta and they wanted to give high ping players a chance. In their own words, it's intended to level the playing field regarding ping when it comes to turtling. I have nothing against this. Low ping has been a huge advantage for players near the servers for the longest time. I think we can all agree there's a problem when players like Booga can walk up to someone's wall and steal it with ease. What I think Epic cared more about was when those zero ping players were the ones turtling inside the box. There's absolutely nothing more frustrating than getting a guy low and then not being able to kill him because he's turtling in a 1x1. Even with the tons of tips and tricks I've showed to counter turtling, Epic wanted to make an easier and more universal way to stop this from happening. I think this is a very great and noble idea, it's just changing the turbo build delay is not the way to do it. As we just saw, there's way too many negative effects that result from it. Leaving this in the game would completely ruin the most skillful and fun aspect of Fortnite, which is building. Epic needs to understand the only reason people play Fortnite is for the building. Anyone who plays for the shooting mechanics is an absolute clown because there's Bloom. If you want to play a shooting game, then go play COD where you don't have to rely on RNG for your shots to hit. The battle in Fortnite is building, yet for some reason, Epic has been doing everything in its power to nerf it. Over the course of 10 seasons, building has evolved and changed in ways they never imagined. If you're a casual player who only plays for an hour or two a week, you're probably struggling to keep up with other players. This is natural and happens in pretty much every game with some sort of skill gap. Smart developers don't have any issue with this because they know they can cater to both the bad and the good players. For the better players, they'll add a ranked mode where they can grind and improve, and then for the not so good players, they can add an unranked mode or fun game modes separate from the core ones. The problem is when a developer decides to cater to one side, usually the bad players, over the other. This is Fortnite's biggest problem and downfall, as it almost exclusively caters to casual players. We saw this more than ever in Season X, with the addition of brutes, tilted town, junk rifts, and now a nerf to building. It's all an effort to help bad players kill good players and get more wins. Epic would much rather have little Timmy get a win than their game be balanced or even slightly competitive. They admitted to this in their statement about brutes, saying, "The mission of Fortnite is to bring players of all skill levels together to have a fun experience where anyone can win." This is the kind of moronic logic that led to participation trophies. If bots want to win, they need to practice in creative, watch my tips and tricks videos, and grind the game to improve. There's so many more resources bad players have to improve nowadays. Nobody has fun being handed wins because of stupid game mechanics. Nothing will ever beat the feeling of your first win that you earned. For hundreds of games, we all got dumpstered until we finally managed to get our first victory royale. I don't know how, but Epic doesn't understand this and would rather hand out free wins. Their philosophy has changed to get little Timmy his first win using a mech and shooting through your builds, because turbo building unfortunately doesn't work anymore. At the end of the day, Epic Games runs a business, and catering to the bots probably does make them more money than catering to good players. I fully understand that. Do I think it's a smart idea? Maybe in the short run. They're still making a ton of money and people continue to play the game. Long term though, they're driving out players who've played their games for years now. Experienced players who put hundreds of hours into the game can't even recognize Fortnite anymore. These are the players that have had Epic's back from the beginning and would continue to play to this day if Epic made some good changes. They're the polar opposite of all the casuals who will move on without thinking twice to the next hottest game that comes out. All of this so Epic can milk their game as much as possible and increase their bottom line. They could easily make Fortnite last for years to come and one of the greatest games ever made. This latest turbo building nerf though will be Fortnite's demise if it's not reverted. At least in the past, when there was a bad change like zombies being added, you could hop into creative and practice your builds. You can't even do that anymore, and it's pretty sad to think about. Building is easily the most unique aspect of any video game I've ever played. It's insanely complex, deep, and goes way beyond what Epic ever intended for it to be. So, what should Epic do from here? First, they gotta revert the change, take a step back, and rethink their fix. About 12 hours after the patch dropped, Epic released a blog post talking about the turbo build changes. They basically confirmed what I thought, and they said they didn't want turtling to be as strong as it is, zero ping to be as overpowered as it is, and that they wanted building to be more deliberate. They did give us some hope by saying they didn't want to drastically impact how building felt and other things like 90s, but they didn't say they were changing anything. Their proposed changes were to make the first building placement instantaneous, or 0 seconds, and then every build after that would be 0.15 seconds no matter what. That means with an auto clicker or infinite scroll wheel placing, your building would still be delayed and it wouldn't really do anything. To finish it off, they actually made me laugh because they proposed an idea for fixing wall replacing by making it a coin flip. Literally, all RNG, 50-50 over who would get the wall. In summary, their fixes were absolute crap. Some much better and more fair ways to fix the ping issue is to increase the delay only in subsequent turbo building placements for the same piece in the same grid position. That would make it so you're not able to just place the same build and hold the wall forever. You need to constantly be moving to stop spam and to play defensively. This would leave building the way it was before because you literally can't place a wall 2 times in the same exact spot while the wall is still there. Plus, if it gets destroyed, then the delay would kick in and other players would have a chance to replace your wall even when they're not on 0 ping. This would not mess up any building strategies because you're never holding down the same build repeatedly, and it would solve the big issues at hand. Overall, I'm lost, boys. Epic seems pretty stubborn on reverting the turbo build change back, and I really don't like playing with it. I would legitimately rather play against 99 mechs than have to play normally on the new turbo building. I do apologize if you came for tips and tricks, but had to listen to me whine for 10 minutes instead. I just care about the game way too much, and to see it head in this direction, it makes me sad. Hopefully you guys can understand, So if you enjoyed my little rant and want Fortnite to revert, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Thank you to everyone using code Jarian and supporting me. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.